The long run, right, for me, the long run is the most crucial part of training for whatever distance, whether it's 5K, 10K, half marathon, and especially the marathon. If I hadn't run long runs, I don't think I'd be half the runner that I am now. If you don't know, my name's Patrick Martin, and in April last year, I ran the London Marathon in 2 hours, 24 minutes and 31 seconds at 42 years old. I'd only been running for 3.5 years. My goal at the moment is to run a 2:20 marathon. In this series of videos, I'm explaining how I'm training to run the 2:20 marathon and the steps I'm taking to get there. And the long run is the most important part of that training. So in this video, I take you out on a long run with me, and you see me at the beginning, you see me various parts during the run, and you'll see me at the end, and you get to see what I look like at the end of after a 36k run. So I'm bouncing along on kilometre 8 of my long run this morning. My pace is 3 minutes 51 per kilometre. It's been quite a flat, fairly standard long run this morning. I felt quite energetic, so I'm going at quite a decent speed, which is nice. It's so nice to feel energetic. If I hit 30k today, I'll have done 165, I think, kilometres this week. So I'm still quite tired. My body's quite tired. That's 100 miles. My body's quite tired from all the running this week, but luckily I woke up this morning feeling pretty good. I'll be feeling different by kilometre 30, that's for sure. I know the rest of the course that I'm planning on going on today is pretty hilly, so that always takes it out of me. It's been pretty flat so far, but so far I'm feeling good. It's always good to have a nice start to the long run. The worst thing is when you have a bad start, you don't feel energetic, and you know you've got 25-30k to go, but I'm feeling good so far. I didn't just start running 36k runs weekly. I built up to that over time, and I'm going to go and jump onto my computer now and show you on Strava my first long run and how I progressed over time to get to the point where I was running and able to run long runs quite often. Right, so I've jumped onto my Strava account now, and I want to show you how my long runs progressed over time from when I first started running long to where I am now and how I got there. So this is my first ever long run, which is a 15-kilometre run, and it was in 1 hour and 7 minutes, and I remember it really clearly because I remember I found it absolutely exhausting. I just moved to a new area and I went out for a run and I got lost, and I remember just running around trying to find out how to get back home, and I got back home just finished, and I remember seeing the 1 hour come up on my watch and thinking, oh my god, I've run over an hour, because I never used to run more than an hour. I used to run 11, 12, 10k runs all the time. You can see all my runs before this. So this is October 2020, so all my runs before this were really short. And I remember running that and just being absolutely finished. But then from then on, I still carried on running the 12k's for a while, 13k's. That was the furthest I'd run. And then we get to, here we go, in January 2021, I ran another 15k, and that would have been exhausting again. And from then on, I remember I decided, right, I'm going to consistently try and run longer. So I went up to a 22-kilometre run then, and that was 1 hour and 28 minutes, which I remember again being absolutely exhausted afterwards. Quite fast pace, 4 minutes and 2 seconds per kilometre. And then this one, another 22k one up fast pace, so I'd really upped it now to 1 hour 23 minutes and 3:47 per kilometre, but in February 2021. And then you can see here, consistently running 22, I've got up to 24, 25 the following week, so I'm moving up every week. I'm increasing my fitness, increasing the long run every week really, but just consistently running. So I did start to feel better and I started to recover better every week, and didn't feel so exhausted. Although I have to say, I always feel exhausted after what I call a long run. And this time, this was a long run to me. Now this wouldn't be a long run. This would be, not an easy run, just an average sort of a run. But then we go to where are we now? March 2021. So 25k again, 24k, 24k. So I'm still keeping consistent around that mark. You can see the general pattern is that it's consistently gradually going up. And let's just jump forward to 2022, and we'll go to the middle of 2022, and by now, after gradually increasing it, I've got up to sort of 26k there, 35k now. So you can see that 35k run is 2 hours and 23 minutes. And so I've gradually got up to that kind of level, and as you can see, I didn't just jump to running 35, 36k's, it gradually increased over time. And then there's a 43k run then. That's unusual. I don't normally run marathon distance. That was a 2 hour 58 minutes at 4:04 pace. So that was a tough run on that day. I'm not sure I've ever run that far in training since, apart from in races. Then we've got 35k, 42. That's the Yorkshire Marathon here, and then from then on, I know that I stepped it up and was running lots of 35k runs. And if we jump forward to 2023, I go to January 2023, before the London Marathon. We can see I start being really consistent with the 34, 35, 32k runs every week leading up to the London Marathon. That's a 2 hour run, 32 kilometres, 3:47 per kilometre, a nice fast one there. Also obviously feeling energetic that day. But as you can see, just gradually built it up over time. Wasn't going out and running 2 hour plus runs straight away. It took time to build that up, going from 1 hour, 1 hour 15, 1.5 hours, 1 hour 45, just building up over time. So I was able to gain that strength, that endurance, and allowed my body to get used to it. Right, let's head back out and see how I'm doing on my run. So I'm on kilometre 23 of the long run now. The last kilometre was 3:43 pace, which is pretty good considering I've hit some hills in the run just now. Average pace overall was 3 minutes 54 per kilometre, so it's going well. Still feeling fairly energetic. This is a part that generally for me starts to hurt from about 20 kilometres onwards. I find it gets tougher, but staying pretty freaking. I'm feeling pretty good. It's great weather, and it's just nice to be out here on a sunny, gorgeous morning. This is why I run, really. Pacing, and for me, I like to keep everything in running simple, as you probably know if you watched some of my videos before, and pacing is one of those things where I don't worry about it too much. The most important thing is to get out and do the run. So many people ask me about pacing and what they should do, and I just say, please, just run. Just get out and do the run. And that's what got me going and got me to be able to keep running fast times and be able to keep running longer and longer, because I just went and ran. I didn't think about it too much. At the beginning, I was worrying about, am I running it too fast? Am I running it too slow? What should I do? Don't worry about it. Just get out and run. It's the most crucial part of becoming a good runner. It sounds really stupid, but it's the fact. Don't worry about the pacing too much. If I feel good on a morning when I'm going to do a long run, I'll go out and I run it quite hard, and I'll go out and run it quite fast. If I'm feeling tired or I'm a bit lethargic, I'll run it slow. The fact is, because I'm consistent and I'm doing the runs every week, I know that over time I'll get a bit of everything in. Some days I feel good and I go and run quite hard. Some days I won't, so I'll take it easy. And over time I just get a mixture of the varieties of paces in. As I get closer to a marathon, I will add some marathon pace running in there. So I might do 2k at marathon pace, rest for a k, another 2k, or I might do a harder session of 5k at marathon pace, rest for a k, 5k at marathon pace. But I really don't worry about it too much, and it's just getting out there, getting the mileage in, getting your body used to running longer distances. It's hard, it's not easy. Running long is not easy. It really takes time to build that up. When you do, you'll find it easier and you get faster and you get quicker, and it's so crucial. So why am I focusing on long runs so much in this training to run a 2:20 marathon? Because for me, long runs build up that strength, that endurance. They get your body used to running for a long period of time. You know, I'm running 2 hour 20 minutes, 2.5 hours, and your body just builds up this ability to be able to run for that long the more you practice it. If you're doing a weekly long run, or even bi-weekly, or just often, you're frequently getting out there and staying on your feet for a long time and running for a long time, you just build up this amazing endurance and this ability to run for a long time, and this strength. Your muscles and your tendons and your bones and your physiology all get used to running for a long period of time. And then when it comes to a race, especially for a marathon, but any other race, it feels so much easier. So that's 29 kilometres done. The last kilometre was 3:44, I think, average of 3:55. The weather's warming up right now, it's getting later in the day. I want to try and power back now to get a good bit of speed in, sort of fast progression at the end of the run, and then I'm done. The long run in the bag. I think I've got about 4 or 5k left till I get home, so not too much now compared to what I've done. It's been a good, enjoyable run so far. The second reason that I run long runs is the mentality. Like, if you can go out and you can run for 2 hours 20 non-stop, your mentality is going to be strong. You're in a race, you're going to find it easy, because when you're running in training, there's no one pushing you along, there's no crowd. You're probably, doing it on a morning when you just had a normal day the day before, you haven't been resting or tapering, you're in a normal training week. It's not easy to go out and run a 2+ hour run, or whatever a long run is for you, whether it's an hour, whether it's an hour and a half. It's not easy to do that weekly. You've got just the day-to-day things going on in your life that make you tired, and to get out and do that, you're pushing through that, knowing that you can stop anytime, and you can. When you're on a run on your own, you can just say, "Oh, I've had enough, I'm going to stop." But if you can push through that in training, in a race, it's going to be so much easier, because you've got all the other competitors around you, you've got the people watching, the spectators, you've probably tapered, you've got your nutrition right, you've rested the day before. All those things are so much easier in a race. And if you've done the hard stuff in training, then don't worry about it, it's fine. I'm using the Saucony Endorphin Speed 3 for this run. Hopefully you can see them. I love them for pretty much every run. They've got speed, cushioning, comfort, and I've just got no complaints about them. I don't rotate my shoes enough, to be fair, but when you like a shoe this much, I find it disappointing when I run in something else. The third thing is that long runs allow you to practice marathon pace when you're tired, when you're fatigued, when your body feels tired. So, like I said before, as I get closer to a marathon race, I'll start practicing more marathon pace in my long run. So I'll start to add in sections of the run where I'm running at marathon pace, or sometimes even faster if I feel like it, just so my body gets used to knowing what that feels like when you're tired, when you've just run out of energy, when your whole body is just like wants to stop. If you can throw in some marathon pace running, then wow, you know, in a race it's going to be fine. You're going to find it much easier. So I just hit 2 hours of running. Still going. Not far from home now, so I'm happy about that, because I don't want to do any more. But yeah, when I pass the 2 hour mark, I know I'm good. I've got a decent session in for the day. A top tip that I find, and that's worked really well for me, is to, in the second half of a long run, find a course where the second half's harder, where the second half's got hills, is more undulating, or it's uphill a lot, or it's gradual uphill bit. And if you can do that in the second half of a long training run, and then you go and run a flat marathon, you're going to find the marathon so much easier, because you won't have that hill at the end, and you'll put yourself through worse in training. So that's something I try to do a lot. I've got a course where I run the first half, I run it, it's like 2 loops. So I run the first half is uphill, and I kind of come down a bit halfway through, then the second half is uphill again, and it's exhausting, but I know it's doing me so much good, and it's going to make races so much easier for me. That's the long run done now. Just coming back from it. 36 kilometers at 3 minutes 54 kilometer pace. You can see on my watch, I don't know if you can see this. Yeah, that was tough. Started at about 7 a.m. and it's about 9:20 now, so it's 2 hours, 20 minutes for that run. And yeah, that's in the bank for another week. Oh, wow. It's hot today, but I'm always absolutely exhausted after a long run. It's going to take me a good few hours, probably the rest of the day, to recover from this. But all good. It's done. That's it. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and share any of your experiences or tips running long runs. And thanks so much.